All right. We're going to see if we can find somebody that wants to play. Maybe oh, we've got an opponent. It's a rather lower-rated opponent, but I haven't been able to find a game. I need the long time controls here because commentary and playing is something I'm not quite familiar with yet. Let's see if they're actually going to move. I have had some bad luck. Oh, we got an actual person who's playing. Okay, so I expect them probably to do this or this or this knight here. My reactions, I can do this, or I can just bring this knight out here, or I can just go straight into the center. You know, I like going straight into the center because if they do this, I'm just going to meet that, and that makes it so it's harder for this knight to come out here. Okay, they're not doing that. I have to defend my pawns. That's a pretty basic idea. Defending the pawn. There, maybe they push. I mean, that square, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna have to defend this pawn now. So, well, we'll just do 4 knights, I guess. So 4 knights. I have no idea how 4 knights works. Okay, that pawn is still being defended. Probably best to defend it here so I don't lose this pawn. So that's pretty straightforward. We're going to just defend so I don't drop this pawn. Can pin their knight if they ever. This doesn't feel like normally when I get games like this, what happens is they play the knight to here, and they do this, and they do this. Okay, so here is what I was talking about. So if I do this, then their knight's just gonna retreat, or we're gonna go. They can't go forward because then they end up in the corner when I kick them. So there's a couple things here. If I take here, and they take with knight, that's an issue because we have, and it just kind of it doesn't. I don't feel it's very good for me. If I take and they take this way, and can we trade queens? That's a different matter. Depending on what I was playing, probably best just kick the knight. So if I kick the knight, then here's the idea. So if I kick knight and they go here, so let's say I kick knight and they go here. Oops, not there. They go here. This knight is not being defended. So if I this and they don't move their knight, I can shatter their structure. I think it's probably best to kick because I really don't want pressure here. So we're just going to do a basic forward push here. And because I've done that, I need to be able to get the pawn free here. I don't know how to go to do that yet. Maybe I trade this bishop and this bishop and then do something like this and then something like this. Because this is a sensitive pawn. If they challenge it, they have all sorts of potential to put pressure. This is an idea anyway. So like long term might be get my knight here, trade these bishops, play a knight here, play a knight here, and then do. Oh, okay, well they made that actually quite easy for me. Yeah, we're just gonna take. So this actually helps me because now I can do something like this, and then I can do this. Right, it allows me to protect the space. Okay, so here's some. I actually didn't see the jump into the center. Um, Now there's potential reactions. I can back my bishop up, but I can't take with the knight because they went a pawn. I can bring my queen up, and if they, so let's say I take my queen up here, and they take here, I can return here, still defend this pawn, and it still allows me this knight maneuver. Hmm. I think the best getting my queen up is good because it also allows me the opportunity to inside castle if that's a possibility in the future. Um, so I think parking my queen here is probably the best choice. And if they trade, it gets my queen to the square and it stops the knight from jumping to any of these two things as well. So we're just gonna move my knight or my queen up and see what they do. This also allows me to do something like this, for example, which challenges their knight with the potential of winning a pawn. And um, okay, they're allowing me to do that. So I don't really know what this move is doing. It doesn't really feel very useful. I mean, maybe they jump back. Okay, so I could just finish my development and bring my bishop up here and just let that knight sit. Or I can challenge the knight. They pop back. And if I do this, that's bad news for them because they don't have any returning squares. If they come back here, they lose the pawn. Um, not, yeah. So there's two options. I can do this, move my knight to e2, challenging the knight. If I wanted to play hope chess, I would move my knight in the hopes that they would move their knight to b5, and then this allows me to win a pawn. I don't think that's what they're going to do because so far they've done a lot of trading. I feel like if I move my knight to e2, they're just going to take my bishop on f3, and I just capture with my queen. Is that better for me? Decisions. I mean, I could just not react to it at all and just pin their knight, but then they just do this, blocking. But I'm blocking the pin allows them to castle, and then that's not so good because this is not a defended piece. It's not really connected to anything. I'm going to play my knight. I'm going to challenge their knight. So black's plans are see this knight's not a very great place to be because they have no return squares. Everywhere they can go is a bit dangerous, right? Here it's useless because okay, they're just gonna trade the bishop. So I have no choice but to take back. Um, here here's the plan I wanted all along, which is to have my pawn on this square here, and castling side, and I have space. So if they ever do try to break down my center, I've got the ability to defend it by pushing here, which I'm going to castle first just to get out of danger. Okay, so if they go queen side, because that move tells me they want to go queen side, or planning on going queen side, maybe they want a queen trade. So I have a couple of options. I can do this to try and duck a queen trade, because if they do want to do that, so let's say they take their queen and they park their queen here. If I try to avoid the queen trade, say like I move over here, I lose this pawn. If I move right here to defend this pawn, both the queen and the knight are attacking it, and I don't have anything. So I'd have to trade queens, and that becomes not so great. If I play this move right now, it stops the queen trade. It also gives my king some space. It feels a bit slow, but it might be worthwhile to do right now. I wanted to play this. This move kind of confused me. Maybe their plans are go here instead of here. Here. So maybe these are the plans they have with their queen. I mean, this doesn't feel good because it just allows me to, like, let's say they go here. It allows me to do something like this. This right here, on the other hand, doesn't feel like it's really doing anything. I mean, it's direct attacking this pawn, so eventually if I move my bishop, this one has to be dealt with. But it kind of runs into the same problem because I can do this, right? Just through the pawn pushes that block out the queen. So I'm starting to think maybe this move was specifically to force the exchange of queens. I'm just going to play a tentative move and see where they go from here. So they can castle queenside or they can castle queenside. Queenside feels dangerous because then I just start pushing pawns right down their throat, especially with this space here. But they can also start doing some pretty quick stuff here. Okay, maybe they don't know what they want to do. Because that move says to me they don't know what they want to do. Let's see here. Here's a plan. So I'm gonna come up with some plans. So knight here, and we sink knight in with the idea of forcing them to make a decision. See, the interesting thing about this move is if they do castle kingside and I get a knight here, it's always an attacking point if they try to kick me. So we're gonna. Is this really worth my time? No, if I go and jump twice into this square, I don't want to trade this bishop. This is a bad bishop because the pawns are all on dark squares and it really doesn't have anywhere to go. This square is so it's useless basically. It goes here, I can just trade it right off. My dark square bishop is much better, which means I don't want to trade it. So if I jump in here, the only way they're gonna kick me out of this square is either by finding a way to maneuver their knight to do so, or this pawn push. And this pawn push feels a bit weakened. So maybe what I do is I begin this maneuver, get them to weaken their king side, or do I just change gears and go with my plan? We're going to go with my plan because if they do choose to castle queenside, I want my pawns already halfway down the board. I mean, my king's already safe. They haven't committed anywhere yet, so this just leaves me more flexibility than moving my knight. Because if I move my knight here, for example, and they castle queenside like this, then they've got like something to bite on. So they'll just be able to push and then get a lot more pushing going on, get further down. See, this feels like a rather waste of time. I'm just going to kick their queen. Maybe they do something like this. No, they're going to go back. So This now asks me wonder what I'm going to do with my bishop. So my bishop can has many choices. I can choose this diagonal. It depends on where their king's going to go. I mean, if their king is going to go queen side, then I park my bishop probably here. It stares right down where I'm going to go. If their king is going king side, like this, then maybe I do something like that with the hopes of eventually breaking down this pawn here with like a push and try to win it. And then we put pressure on knight here. This bishop again. Don't wanna cause this guy much grief. He's already causing himself grief being there. I mean, I could force him to make a decision. If I play queen here, oh no, see, I lose that pawn if I do that. Well, I can do. Well, for example, I free up my queen by playing knight here. Or maybe I should complete development by connecting my rooks. This actually feels like a better move right here, because if they go king side or queen side, I am actually still able to be flexible what I'm going to do. I mean, I can still attack them if they go queen side, and I can still attack them if they go king side. Whereas if I go here, I don't have the flexibility to go on this square here, so I'm going to just move my bishop only up one for that solid reason. So I actually don't see, like, maybe white decides to pawn push here. If they push here, I am not going to budge, right? Okay, that's a really committing move. So this makes the maneuver even more enticing because there's absolutely no way for them to really challenge. And yeah, okay. So because they've done this, they really don't have any way to kick my knight from this square because there's no more defender of it. So if I begin this knight maneuver, if I have time for it, because if they play something like a just straight pawn push. Okay, long-term difficulty with this pawn push here is if let's run through a line. If I move my knight here and they pawn push and I take, and let's say they take their queen and we exchange queens, and I sink my knight into here. So we'll have their knight on this square, my knight on this square, and both queens are off the board. They can't. They either have to castle queen side, in which they lose this bishop, or they castle king side, and this knight they lose this bishop. So like, if they play king here, they've lost the ability to castle. But the thing is, queens are already off the board, so it might not be as important by then. It just seems good for me to try and get this knight in here, particularly as it ties down to the center of the board. And another point is that also means this pawn is attacked twice, because once this push happens, you've got both your bishop and your knight converging on it. But the question is, would I really want to take it? Would it be a poison pawn? Because if they just put a battery of rooks over here, it's facing my king. We're gonna see where this goes. This is a weakness. So they've created a weakness right here with this push. So this knight has no squares to go to. Okay, they're going queen side, so I didn't expect them to do that right away. I was kind of expecting my opponent to pawn push before they castled. It just kind of changes what I was doing. So this becomes a little more dangerous. Now, with the opposite side's castling, I have to hurry. So that's like if I want to bite on their like hack their king open, it's like one, two, um, three moves. They've basically got like one, two, like this significantly less than I do. They're further up. It might be important that I play this move just to stop their queen from supporting any kind of attack. It also stops this pawn from getting involved. So if I play and they do this, so then let's say I don't take this pawn for very clear reasons. And let's assume my opponent is a good player and they figure out what to do from here. I think it's important that I sink this knight in first because this is feeling incredibly dangerous, right? Where they just kind of push their pawns like right down at me. Maybe I do like moves like c1 and then just try and blast open things. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is a possibility. Um, Maybe I play this to stop. So if I play a defensive move and they try to break me open anyway, so in order to properly defend this, I feel like I'm not doing very well in terms of my safety. If I play a defensive move and they begin to attack anyway, I don't flinch. I keep my pawn here, and if they decide to exchange these pawns, sorry, like this, um, my king needs to come up immediately, and my rooks need to come over, and we need to neutralize this guy. And this is important because um, I don't want them doubling up on this in this file, and then this queen here is going to be several moves before she can even be useful. Because right now she's got nowhere to go. Basically, that's about it. These back two squares are the only squares, so it's easily going to be at least two moves before she's useful. So it allows me the opportunity to get my king up, rook over, that kind of stuff, and it begins to neutralize the position. And this knight is a strong knight, and this bishop's a bad bishop. So we're going to play defensively, so my opponent doesn't be able to like hack open my defenses. Okay, so I don't react to this because if I do, then they've just got so if I react and I take, they're just gonna crush me. So I have a couple options. I can go king up already right now and move my rook over. We're actually gonna do that. So that's my plan to deal with this attack. King up, this rook comes over. So if they do take and I take back, we've already got an opportunity to neutralize everything that's happening. And because the queen is going to take like two moves to get where she needs to get, I might end up owning this file because I'm only one move away once all the rooks are exchanged. Okay, we're going to continue with my plan. I'm going to play rook over here. They're probably going to do something like this. Okay, they're not even going to do that. So we're going to trade a whole bunch of pieces from this point. I'm going to take, and then we're going to basically trade everything. Again, this queen over here is very misplaced because they really all they have is backwards moves, and it's a time waster. So if they if trade rooks I'm assuming we're going to do, and they play a move like um, queen e8, then I'm given an opportunity to bring king back up. Okay, that's an interesting move. This is interesting in the way that just drops a pawn. I can take this pawn now, I think. I think this is a free pawn. So if I take this pawn, then this knight has to move. Or they play queen here. So we're going to take this pawn. There's a reason why this is an important move, because if I take this pawn, they really only have a couple options. They can move their knight, but if they move their knight, then their rook falls. If they decide to trade rooks first, interesting. So if I take this pawn and we trade rooks first, and then they just move their knight out of the way of danger, attacking my bishop, this allows all sorts of shenanigans, like bishop comes back here, queen goes like right here, got a battery on this thing. I would just, you know what, we're gonna the pawn. I'm gonna risk it. I assume they're going to trade rooks right away, and this bishop again is blocking any opportunity for the queen to contribute at all. So they're probably going to trade rooks because it just feels bad otherwise. See, they're trying to get this bishop active, and it's difficult because there's really not much you can do with it. So this knight has to move. Now I have a couple options. I can back my bishop up. So I can retreat in this direction, or I can retreat in this direction. Or I can play like a computer and just move forward. Right. You know, computers are always, oh, no matter what, move forward. And it's interesting because if I move forward, I lose my bishop. All right, so my options are basically if I retreat here or I retreat here. I like retreating here because it stops the knight from jumping in. So if I go back, the knight can't use this as a leaping post anymore. And this bishop can't get active in any direction because this knight stops them in all directions. So in some ways, I'm tying up both their pieces by retreating back only one square here, because it makes it so nothing jump on any of these squares at all, except the pawn. So I need to get my king out of danger because I'm afraid of this queen ending up on the square here. So I'm going to do a basic safety move. We're gonna trade, and here we go. So like this is like a bad bishop and good knight. All their pawns are on dark squares, basically, right? Except for the ones over here, but there's no way for this knight to be dislodged. So if I um, swing queen over with the idea of shoring up everything I've got here and the queen entry point, queen entry point would be way down here. Their queen can't really defend it. If they go like this to try and stop me, I can pin them with further checks. That would be like check here. There's check here. Oh, see, this is interesting because this presents all sorts of possibilities. Or there's tactics going on here. So if I give a check and they block with their queen, I win a piece. I think this is just a GG here, but we're gonna play it out. We're gonna get check. Okay, they're defending properly. So my plans are if I move my queen just up one, we're just gonna do a really simple move like queen up one. Potentials for cheating the king. Their queen can't go here, 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 here. We're gonna be safe, and I'm gonna play this. It's just a passing move. So now that the king has walked itself away, if I play here to try and force a queen trade, and my pawn takes, this is incredibly dangerous because the knight supports the push here, and it just wins me piece. So the problem, though, is if I bring my queen here and they just swing over with the intent of trying to invade my space. So queen here, and they go, say, for example, queen here, which is really the only move that I see. I'll force them to act. We'll see what they do. I feel like they're going to play just queen over here. And, you know, my queen here doesn't feel very good. My king actually feels very safe here because there's no real way for their queen to enter on this file. This bishop is trapped. Putting the queen here actually stops them from playing this pawn move because then I just double up whatever is here. If they play something like this, I just win the queen. So I have to react to this. This is something they're probably not gonna trade queens for this very reason, because it's just basically losing. You end up pushing through and getting your promotion. They can't really duck in this direction or in this direction. They can't really do anything. Yeah, so that's really their only move. I could this is a thought. It forces a bishop to attack the bishop. Then they would just play something like bishop here. What if I begin playing on the queen side? So my queen is in excellent position. I don't want to move her. She's basically controlling everything, controlling this bishop, controlling their queen. Queen can't go anywhere else. All this is boxed in. You can't get through here. You can't get back over here in order to infiltrate on this side. So what I start doing is starting to play on the queen side. So I begin to march my pawns. I'm marching my pawn forward. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to play this first. So they're probably going to react. That was a weird move. All right, what are they planning with this? Probably planning something like a queen trade here. Again, I don't have to react because if they play here, I just leave my queen sitting here. They can't do anything. They're stuck. I put them in what's a Zugzwang, right? You know, there are no moves they can make that are good moves. It's just losing. Bishop is trapped. Queen's trapped. They really can only shuffle between these two places. This is a thought where I play queen here. If I pawn push, let's calculate this out. If I pawn push and they take, and I take, that gets even more enticing because I don't want that. You're starting to feel like there are main nets going on here. There's a bishop pin going on. If we're gonna push, because if they take and I take and I play bishop here, this is starting to feel pretty mate-like. So my plan is queen. Oh, we're not going to do that right away. Queen right here. This is starting to feel very, very weaving a mating net. Knight here becomes dangerous. If they take with their bishop, I win the queen. And because they can't move their bishop, it allows me to jump my knight here. And that is basically game over. So we're going to see how they respond to this. So my next move is going to be knight here, and this bishop is not going to be able to move. Their only defense I can see is queen here. So what are my plans if they play queen here? I can't move my knight here because I just lose the knight. I can retreat my queen back, force them away. But then that starts to feel like a draw. I don't want to draw. There's a check here, and that just forces their king back to this corner. And that's a bad idea because then my queen can't go anywhere and she's just stuck. So, okay, we're doing a queen trade. All right, I'm okay with this for a lot of reasons because everything is boxed up. So the whole I don't even have to queen trade. I can just move pawn. Yeah, we're gonna just win the pawn, and then I'm going to take here. Okay, they resigned. That's GG. I'm going to jump to the analysis board and we're going to take a look at it. Let's see what the computer has to say. I actually liked this game, particularly at the end. It felt very instructive, especially for like the Zooks one stuff, where my opponent didn't seem to have very much opportunity. Seems already an analysis going on. One of the things I felt about this game um, was it's a very good lesson in how this bishop can be really dangerous if all your pawns are on dark squares. I mean, this guy basically shuffled between, you know, four squares the entire game. Didn't do anything productive, didn't support anything, was just in the way the entire time. The queen also stuck. Open position was a little rough. In terms of what was valuable, like everything was in its way, right? I'm gonna just wait for this analysis to come up, and we're gonna call it end of stream there. Here, so far I'm looking good. No blunders. My opponent played pretty accurately too, actually. Um, I am pretty proud of myself for that game. Oh, I did have a blunder in there. I wonder where that blunder was. Okay, let's actually take a look. Oh, trading. Moving my rook over was a blunder, according to the computer. I'm not sure why that's the case. They're calling this a blunder. Why is this a blunder? I don't know. It feels like a very computer move where it wants me to take this bishop, and I don't like the way this bishop is. I wouldn't take this bishop. It looks useless, right? So I'm gonna unless I know computer lines, I don't think that's gonna work. All right, I'm gonna call the stream here. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, bye everybody.